Good morning. I'm John Gresley. I'm the Executive Director of the Housing Authority, and I want to welcome you all here this morning. We're particularly pleased today to be able to welcome a good friend of the Oakland Housing Authority, Assistant Secretary Sandra Enriquez, who's visiting us representing the Obama administration, and Secretary Sean Donovan, and she will have remarks to say to you later. And she brought along an old friend of ours, David Lipsitz. Where's David? We're right there. David actually got his start in housing, working with the Oakland Housing Authority a few years back. I think was here when we were envisioning some of the changes that might come about. It's very nice to have both of you here. And I don't appreciate the fact that you brought your weather with you. Usually May and September, I tell everybody, May and September, East Bay, best, warmest months we have in California in East Bay. And last week we were running around trying to figure out if it's going to rain. And it's not raining, but it's pretty cold. Tassafaronga is the result of a long commitment on the part of the Oakland Housing Authority and the City of Oakland, and in fact on all of our partners, to preserve and protect and also to expand the supply of affordable housing in Oakland. This development is the culmination of many years of hard work and effort put in and in other developments, and to draw upon the lessons that we've learned from our several other successful redevelopments that occurred here in Oakland. In fact, Bridget Gelka, who's the project manager on this project, was the project manager on our very first Hope 6 in West Oakland some years ago, and it's evident that she's applied the lessons she learned there here. This, in fact, is the logical next step, an extension of those successful Hope 6 developments. But it's unique in that it combines the best practices that we've found in our various other redevelopments. First, this was originally 87 units of public housing before we tore it down. There's no public housing here today. The public housing, though, has been replaced with 99 units of Section 8 project-based subsidy. All of these units that are rental will be tax credit units. There will also be 22 units of home ownership. I hope you have a chance to do the tour later. And across the way, not quite complete as Phase 2, is the old pasta factory that's being converted and will be used for special needs housing. And of course, we'll incorporate social programming for all the residents that live here. When complete, and the rental portion is now done, it has 157 units of apartments and townhomes for rental. One of the defining features of this development, that makes it unique from any other we've done, is the adaptive reuse of the former Molino Brothers pasta factory. It will be home for 19 families and one manager apartment. And included in those families will be try to attract families who have at least one member of the family who needs services for AIDS, HIV, and there will be an AIDS clinic on site. So along with our partner, the AIDS Project of the East Bay, we are very optimistic that the on-site services that will be provided will greatly improve the quality of lives of those families. This is, for Oakland Housing Authority, its first self-developed tax credit property. And about 2.5 weeks ago, I came out here the day we were receiving the keys from the contractor, Cahill Construction. And somebody made a comment that we really had the dream team here. And you'll be meeting later all the partners, all the various members of the team who have contributed to this. And after somebody made a comment about the dream team, someone else said, the stars really aligned here. Well, we really have had, indeed, a great group of stars working on this together. And I would be remiss if I didn't thank Phil Neville, who's the Deputy Executive Director for Real Estate Development. Phil, back there. And Bridget. Bridget, come in here. This is Bridget Gelka, who's our Senior Development Manager. Because they are the two individuals who put together this dream team and lined up the stars for this great success. Now, on the back of your program, there's a little map and guide. And so later, after we've got through with our presentations in here, I hope you will walk around the development and see some of the features. This development has already received a gold certification in the U.S. Green Building Council's LEED for Neighborhood Development Program. And we are very optimistic and expect that it will receive a platinum certification as well from LEED. And this would be the first Northern California development to receive these two certifications. Of course, key to the success of any endeavor like this is having the support and the leadership of the Board of Commissioners of an organization such as the Housing Authority. We have had unconditioned support from the Board of Commissioners, and they have supported this effort in many ways, including they were there, many of them were there at the beginning, helping to create the vision. By doing this as a self-development, we took all the risk, whereas in the past we shared the risk with other nonprofits. And so they've accepted that risk, and at times they've had to step in and take steps necessary to keep the project moving. One of the backstories is that if you think back a couple of years, the timing of when this was trying to close was right when our financial markets were collapsing around us. And fortunately, through the leadership of the Board of Commissioners and their acceptance of risk and the funding that came from NEF, the National Equity Fund, we were able to keep this moving forward. Finally, they have lended their moral support at every step of the way and their encouragement, and they've been totally 100% behind this development. So I'd like to thank the leadership, the Board of Commissioners, and also I'd like to call upon the Chairman of the Board of Commissioners, who's provided leadership during this time, Mr. Moses Main, to make some remarks. Moses?
You know, it is a partnership that makes a difference. We, the Board of Commissioners, we have some vision. We have some understanding of what we'd like to see. But it doesn't happen in a vacuum. We have a lot of support. Support from our political help in the city of Oakland, as in Larry Reed, who's sitting here. Support from the community and our resident advisory board, who weighs in and says, yes, we'd like to see this change. Our commissioners, and I'm going to ask them to stand, are Mr. William Curry, I don't think he's here. Mr. Greg Hartwig, I know he's here. Marlene Hurd, I don't believe she's here. Mr. Bob Pittman, I know he's here. And I'm going to have him speak in a moment. Miss Tanya Pitts, I think she's at work. And last but definitely not least, Miss Eve Purvis Allen. I understand that she's ill right now, but she would normally be here. And then we have some past commissioners who are here. I saw Marion Mills. Where are you? Specific percentage of accessible units in the developments that we made. Her name was Jacqueline Taylor. She's gone, but her memory still lives on. And whenever we talk about developing anything, we talk about accessible units in those project developments. Now, having said that, please understand, staff is the one who makes the show go on. Mr. John Gresley, Mr. Phil Neville, Bridget, all of them have been on the forefront, and without the staff that works tirelessly to make it happen, we wouldn't even be here today. So we want to also recognize them, but most of all, give them a great round of applause.